Hello, assalamu alaikum. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Well This Morning. And on your screens, you have, I want to say, your very own and your very favorite, well, Shahzad Khan and Shiza Hashmi, like every other morning. I hope, actually, we both hope that you guys are going to have a great day. With me, well, my very favorite co anchor. How are you having this morning so far?
Absolutely perfect. And thank you very much for such a lovely introduction. You definitely made my day. And I think that you set the pace for me as well for the entire week. Thank you very much, Shiza. You've always been really kind with your words as well. And this is something which we like about each other, ladies and gentlemen. This is no flattery. We always, whenever we say some good things about anybody, you know, we feel them from our heart as well. And which is why we share them with people out there. And ladies and gentlemen, this is something which everybody needs to do. You know, please make sure that you kind of appreciate the other person, whoever's right in front of you, but not, you know, out of context as well. You know, sometimes, you know,
Not fake.
Yeah, not fake. You know, sometimes you're in front of somebody and then all of a sudden somebody feels, okay, yeah, isko, you know, I should say something. So, yeah, whenever you say something, please make sure that you're saying it with all your heart as well. And this is something which I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Because, Shiza, I've come across so many people, so many times, you know, with the last period of a year, for example, even though that it was COVID, but every time you're going to go meet your cousin, brother or sister, you know, somebody will be like, hey, you know what, your dress looks really nice. Hey, you know what, your hairstyle looks really nice. Hey, you're wearing good shoes. I mean, why can't we just say, hey, you know what, you look good, yeah? Yeah, and this is something which is obviously going to make your day. So rather than picking up on one of those characteristics which attracts you, I think what you really need to do is that in totality, you need to give a compliment if you're supposed to do so.
Definitely, I 100% do agree with you. Compliments, for that matter, or just kind, nice words can change someone's entire day. And you don't even know. I mean, maybe someone's entire week as well. You don't know what someone's silent battles are, whatever they are going through, whatever they must be sort of engulfed in, what life has thrown at them. So at your part, individually, I think what best you can do is be nice to them, regardless of, well, expectations, of course.
Exactly.
But other than that, Shazad, did you go out yesterday?
Yes.
And I'm asking that because I don't know in other parts of the country, but in the Twin Cities, ladies and gentlemen, it was incredibly beautiful yesterday. It was raining along with, well, thunderstorm and at one point even hailstorm for that matter. And the best part is I realized yesterday that probably just for one day this time, but that sector, the Margala sector where we live, it had the scariest storm compared to other parts because then I was driving in the entire city. I wanted to check where it rains the most.
Wow.
And I think,
so have you started to drive already?
I mean, I was being driven around the city.
Wow, that's wonderful. And you know, when you asked me whether I went out or not, so imagine.
Yeah.
So no, I still
Everyone
had
goes.
to actually pray my Isha prayer. You know,
Okay.
so I went somewhere and then I got back and then I was like, okay, you know, I should offer my prayers. And as soon as I got done with my prayers, I just went out onto my terrace and it was breezy and you know the rain was coming down and I was like, yeah, wow, the weather is so fabulous today as well. And I didn't realize that I actually sat down on my terrace from 11 p.m. till almost 1 a.m.
Oh,
And you know, it
wow.
was so amazing
beautiful.
and it was so good to be out there as well in that weather, ladies and gentlemen. The weather was perfect and not just that. Since you mentioned that you don't know whether it rains somewhere else or not, imagine I got a call from Sakkha and you know, there's this guy who actually calls me regularly just to say hi's and hellos as well. And I was like, hey, you know what? It's raining over here in Islamabad. And he goes like, you know, sir, it's raining in Sakkar as well.
Oh, wow.
You know, for all of those people who are in Sakkar, I hope that you must be enjoying as well. But other than that, today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very important announcement to make. And before we get started with that, you know, it obviously revolves around a gentleman. And when we met him for the very first time, you know, he was obviously, you know, one of those figures over here in PTV which you look up to, yaar, hey, you know what, sir, maybe thoda sa sikhaye na, sir. Something like that. A person who's actually got students, a person who's a mentor, a person who's always had a kind heart as well. And ladies and gentlemen, to be honest, you know, on PTV World this morning wouldn't have been a reality for all of us if that one gentleman wasn't a part of our team.
Definitely, I do agree with you. So, well, if we haven't already given it away, ladies and gentlemen, our producer, Jamshed Saab, the senior producer who's been with this show for 7-ish years now,
Yes.
mashallah, it's his birthday, and before we do wish him, we have some words to say. I totally stand by what you said, 100% yes. Interesting anecdote, you guys know 3 years back, so I came to PTV World to audition to become a newscaster. This was the person who took my audition. And well, he told me, he goes like, you know what, maybe you'll get in because I think you're a good learner. I got in, and then this was the person who then auditioned me for the morning show. He was like, I have a feeling you'll get in, and I got in. So I feel like the encouragement that comes from this person,
Yeah.
and the kind of support he gives to his anchors and his teammates, and one more thing I think I have to say over here, the kind
Yeah.
of maturity this person has in terms of respect in relationships, I think that particular thing I really admire.
Exactly.
It's really rare.
And ladies and gentlemen, before we actually play this montage and wish him happy birthday, you know, so what me and Shiza have decided is that, sorry Shiza, I'm going to add a little bit to it as
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
and that is, so both of us are supposed to tell, you know, two good qualities.
I already did.
Share two, no,
Oh.
not like this. So we're going to share two qualities each as well,
Okay.
and then one that, but I don't know whether we can call it quality or not, but one of those things which you think that, okay, you know what, probably Jamshed साहब अगर आप इसको change कर लेना तो यार ये अच्छा हो.
I
You
wish
know,
we had him on the show.
yeah. So let's get started. Okay. So do you want to go first? Or do you want
No,
me
you
to go
go
first? Okay.
first.
So number one, ladies and gentlemen, the one thing I like about him is that he's literally very punctual. He's always
Oh,
on
yes.
time. You know, he makes
Yes.
sure that, you know, he's 2 or 3 hours earlier than us as well, and then, you know, get everything ready. That's number one, that he's always very punctual. Number two, he's got such a good heart that, you know, if he's friends with anybody, you know, if one, he will become friends very easily. But once he says that he's your friend, he's actually going to stand by you no matter what happens, you know. So this is number two. And for the habit which I would like to change is something which I'll come back after
Jamshed साहब
Shiza.
सुने आप.
Yeah, but first Shiza, yeah.
Well,
go ahead.
of course, I feel like his PR and management skills are something that are unparalleled in the entire PTV,
Mashallah.
which is why we already mentioned that the show couldn't run without him. Secondly, I feel like, yes, this entire segment is dedicated to you, Jamshed Saab, in case you're thinking. But other than that, I think one thing that sort of doesn't set well with other people is this person will have a voice. If something is wrong, he'll have a voice. If something is right, he'll have a voice, which is why he cannot please a lot of people, which is a strong characteristic.
Exactly. So,
So
now
it's a
coming
good
down to that one thing which we would love to kind of change in him, or probably
What is it?
suggest that, you know, if you can change that, you know, that'll be great as well. And this is something which, and it's very interesting as well. So, you know, whenever I've heard Jamshed Saab on the phone, you know, there comes a time when somebody else, you know, obviously on the other side, if there's somebody and, you know, they start to speak, so, you know, he says, and you all of a sudden you're like, oh yaar, pata nahi kya pareshani ka masla ho gaya na, you know. Say Jamshed Saab, if you can change this response to that
Aw.
phone call, I think that will be great as well. It's very worrisome. All right, but moving on to you,
Yeah.
what do you want to say?
I don't think there's something I would like to change, but this was really funny. So Jamshed Saab, this one's for you. We have a little montage of, our pictures together.
Yes.
If we can please play that.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, taking you on a trip down the memory lane, he is Jamshed Sultan Saab, our executive producer for World This Morning. He's been in PTV for more than 2 decades now. He's one of those people who knows the institution inside out. These are his pictures from his trip to Japan. Happy birthday, sir. We're going to sing you the song. Happy birthday to you. May you have many more. Happy birthday, dear Jamshed Sultan. And you will definitely get us our pay raises.
Inshallah, fingers crossed.
Wow.
Well, I really hope, inshallah, this person, of course, has a great day. And, well, for anyone out there, if you are watching our show, we are sending a lot of good wishes to your way.
Exactly.
Okay,
Wow, I
this
love
is
the cake
Jamshed
as
Saab, well, getting into the 40s. Mashallah.
Wow, look at this gentleman. He looks wonderful in suits. And, I mean, he's got his own charisma.
Yeah,
he's got
yeah,
his
for
own
sure.
personality, and I love the way he works, ladies and gentlemen. Highly appreciated, a dedicated and a hard-working human being. And this is something from the core of my heart, and this is all honesty. Nothing is actually sugar-coated.
Yeah, and we didn't get a script to say all that. And of course, I think this is the first time Jamshed Saab is actually celebrating or observing his birthday without his beloved mother. Auntie, our producer's mother, has been a part of his life for so long, and Shazad, just to think of someone who's been so close to you, who's been the most special person in your life, and not have them for the first time in your life around.
Exactly.
Well, I'm sending a lot of courage and strength to you and your family, Jamshed Saab, and well, our prayers are of course there. for
Yeah,
Auntie
and
as
adding
well.
on to that as well, we obviously believe that Alhamdulillah she's actually looking from the skies down over here as well, that Jamshed, you're doing a great job. But every now and then, whenever we used to be in conversation with Jamshed sir, so he would always kind of, quote his mother that, okay, she used to guide me in this way, she used to guide me in this way. Even during his career, she has been, a guidance for Jamshed Sultan Sahab as well. She's been a beacon of light. So, ladies and gentlemen, on those terms, what we are doing today is that we actually want to kind of talk about career counseling, that how important it is. Obviously, we belong to those families where career counseling wasn't really an in thing.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, "Bada kaam karo, bada kaam karo." What was the bada kaam? Nobody knew as well. But other than that, now in private schools we see that there's this trend of career counseling. As soon as you get into O levels, they'll guide you with what subjects to pick up on and things like that. But what is career, first of all? What is career counseling? How important it is something which we'll be talking about. And we are very lucky that we've actually been joined by a career counselor over here in the studios with us as well. She is Miss Ruqayya Shahid. Hello, Assalamu alaikum, good morning.
Walaikum assalam. Good morning. How are you?
Absolutely perfect, and thank you very much for joining us. It's wonderful to have you. First things
Thank
first.
you.
Yes, first things first, Ruqayya, and that is that for somebody to be a career counselor, did they ever think about it while they were getting their own career counseling that okay yaar hum logon ko ab main bataungi karna kya?
First of all, thank you so much for letting me in, inviting me. Secondly,
Our
no,
pleasure.
I never thought about this.
Okay.
I never thought about there is any field related to career counseling. It's only one university in Pakistan, which is NUST. I highly recommend people must join. It's the only university which is offering masters in career counseling, which is the need of the time.
At C3A or something?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wow,
exactly.
I didn't know that.
That name is recently changed. That is now S3H. The department is shifted to
Okay.
H3H.
S3H, got it.
Yeah. So it's there then, but it's really need of the time, and Pakistanis need career counselors because there are typical fields, doctors, engineers, and lawyers, and in that typical fields there are subdivisions are limited, like mechanical engineering, civil engineering, electrical engineering. There are no other fields which we are talking about.
Well, that is great, and I think it's brilliant that you brought up this topic, and we're here to talk about it. When we talk about a country like Pakistan, we are, yes, developing, and I feel like every single person, ranging from a teenager or a child to an elder person, is actually working for the betterment of the country. But scholars have studied Pakistan in a way that, with such a saturated youth bulge, they want the best to come out of it.
Yeah.
But when you're looking at employment, or when you're even looking at the understanding or concept of where to go about employment, that is a blank space.
Yes,
So
exactly.
what do you think, with such a huge potential of people to go about employment, how do you think we can change that at this point?
This is the huge gap between unemployment is because people are not born or raised to work on their own skills. They are immune to become certain
A
certain,
follower, usually.
yeah, robotic things we must say.
You're right.
So they don't have interest in those fields, so they end up like in frustration and not getting the proper jobs, the jobs they require, the jobs they deserve. So there's a huge
So
employment
there's a
gap.
huge gap, obviously,
Yeah.
and people at times, ladies and gentlemen, you see that, the ad was actually for somebody who has done masters in business administration and they've picked up on an engineer, so
Yeah.
everybody's kind of getting whatever, they can get in the first place as well. And this, I believe, is the irony of the job market. But coming down to where we wanted to ask about what is basically a career, for somebody like us, moving from one place to another, going from one channel to another, doing shows and becoming affiliated with other brands outside
Yeah.
as well. We think that, this is what our career looks like. But what is a career in a layman terms?
Basically, a career is a pathway. Like you mentioned that you move from one channel to another and another. This is the career. This is the part of your
But
experiences.
I've only done that twice, Rolling Stone gathers no moss, so yeah, I kind of believe in
No,
that.
it's a part of your experience.
Exactly.
You learn from whatever channels you work, you learn from there. You have different experiences here and different experiences there.
Yeah.
They add up in your career, and this is what the career is.
Alright.
Like you travel, you have different experiences, you learn from different organizations, different peoples, different bosses. This is career.
Okay, that's
interesting.
wonderful. Now, what my question is that, okay, you said that, knowing what your pathway is. When Pakistan, alhamdulillah, nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
Either you're going to
Anywhere,
be fired,
actually.
either you're going to get a pay raise or probably a promotion. Over here, we do not certainly think about all of these things. Because even if there needs to be a promotion, you might probably just have to go somewhere and ask somebody, sir, please.
Please.
You know, it's been 5 years or 6 years that I haven't been promoted. Are you planning on doing so? You know, with private organizations, with public organizations, it's the same. But now, you know, when there is somebody who realizes that, okay, you know, I have a lot more potential than what I'm already doing, and, you know, they're not utilizing my potential, what do you think, what options do they have? Because they, quite oftenly people say that, you know, that it's better to have one thing in hand rather than two in bushes. You know, so, you know, people, I have seen that in Pakistan as well, that, you know, they quit their job because they think that, you know, okay, they're worth more of whatever they were doing. But eventually they end up not having a job, you know, totally. So, you know, what would be your recommendation as a career counselor that, okay, these are the things you need to look forward to?
This is because they are not in they are not searching for a job according to their interest.
Okay.
So if they is not interested in that particular job, they must have lack of skills or lack of abilities which they can give to certain organization.
Okay.
And as far as the pay raise or promotion are concerned, that are all over the world, it's like this. So there is nothing like कि Pakistan में है and not the other part of the world.
No, but you know what? If you're talking about you know, looking for the right job, I think I should actually be I should have been a relationship coach then. I mean, that's the kind of interest I would
I
have.
would never come to you, Shazad. Never. But
So
okay.
if you are looking for a job, you can consult an expert. Here we have the issue that we talk to everybody, we get suggestions from everybody. They are not well researched, well informed. They just guide you according to their own experiences, their own learnings or whatever you can say. But the career counselor are experts in this field. They are well researched, they are well knowledge, they inform you according to the time and according to the future, which requires which are the requirements for the future graduates.
All right, and that is perfectly well. But now let's make it easy for everyone listening. We have definitely discussed career and how to go about it now. But you said, and it's very interesting, that people often land wrong jobs because, well, they don't know what their skill set is. And I feel like in Pakistan, because of unemployment and because of huge families to run and because of the system or the strings attached and everything, I feel like people just settle with jobs. You know, for example, if someone, even if they have studied some from an amazing institute, probably civil engineering, let's say, and they would not land a job, they would just settle being a clerk at an office to earn money, and it breaks my heart. So you tell me, do you have any suggestion that maybe at an early age, maybe at primary school, there should be consultation for skills and talents?
Yeah, exactly. We need a career counselors at every stage of the schools and colleges and universities. If they go through proper career guidance, they will end up by having a better career according to their interest. But yes, you said right that most of the people end up having a good pay rather than a good post. Not only pay, but the post too.
Okay.
If we have a post at certain organization, we say, I'm working there, rather than we work as a clerk. Nobody asks, what do you work there? But you work at a certain reputed organization, people are good with it.
That's true.
So this is ruining your
But
career.
but what you're trying to say is that even if you have a better job title, and you're getting paid lesser, you know, so people are happy with that
Yes,
as well.
exactly.
So this is obviously, you know, you yourself selling yourself, and that too on a very lower quantum as well. So this is something which is or shouldn't be acceptable by people, because you can achieve much more as well. But now, since we are talking about career counseling, and you know, we have you over here as an expert, but when people talk about career counselors, people actually have this image of an elderly person, you know, who's gone through quite a lot in life as well, and they've gone through different jobs as well, and they know the job market. Which is why what I want to ask you is, number one, obviously when people come up to you, are they like, you know, madam, aap to khud choti si lag rahi hai, you know, how are you actually doing it? Number one. Number two, for example, you know, there was a time when our parents or, you know, their friends used to come in and say, you know, beta, go for information technology. Now is the time when people come in and say, you know, international relations, and there are so many other disciplines which are coming in, artificial intelligence for that matter. Do you think that these fields are to be picked up on, you know, in these days? And do you think that all of those people who are going to pick up on these fields will, inshallah, settle very well?
Yes, absolutely. Like you see, pandemic changed everything. Now everything is shifted to online.
Yeah.
So we need information technology the most.
Okay.
But the thing is, people are joining, but not the requirement of the industry. People are there is a lack in an industry and a gap which we need to fill that. And what was it?
So the first question was, when
Do
people come
people
up to you,
yeah.
do they think that, okay,
yes,
you
yes,
yourself and your son?
This is happening. When students too, but their parents are more concerned. They said you are like the age of this person.
आप क्या
and-
बताएंगी?
Exactly. So parents की तरफ से ये चीज़ ज़्यादा आती है, लेकिन students are.
All right, students are good.
All right. But Mr. Kaya, I don't want this to be a directional question, but do you think that not having the right kind of choices to choose for your career or to set a path for yourself is why brain drain is also happening to
Yes,
Pakistan?
exactly.
And how can we fix that?
Here I want to
Or
say one
reverse
more
that,
thing.
yeah.
Here I want to say one more thing. People here are in Pakistan specifically. They are not like he said that parents or the elderly persons are guiding. Other than that, the people who are expert in psychology are also claim themselves that we are career counselors.
Oh,
Though they
okay.
are not, but they
it's
said
different, right?
Yeah,
Of
though they are
course.
not, but they say we are career counselor and we can guide you. That's not the proper
Channel.
pathway
Yeah.
which students have to go. So this is the thing, they misguide.
Okay.
I'm not saying that parents are not misguiding. The people in the field are also misguiding. So you have to seek for a expert career
Got
counselor,
it.
which are very few in the market right now in Pakistan. Very few, very limited. Like we can count on fingers.
Okay.
But inshallah soon.
Inshallah, and I think it's very, thank you for mentioning that. What Mr. Kaya is mentioning over here is that, well, there will be people who might claim to be career counselors, of course, why not? Just go to the ones that have actually studied to be a career counselor, because in their courses they will learn how to deal with your type of aspirations. They are given case studies where they will understand that maybe this person is well suited for this, and it's very well. I think it's very perfect if you actually go see a person that is meant to do
Yeah.
this as well.
Also, I want to mention one more
Yes,
thing.
yes.
That we career counselors are test according to the aptitude, personality, and different aspects of the
Person.
student or candidate or whoever he or she is, which most people or most organization don't have such such tests.
But
Okay.
talking about aptitude test, obviously it is very tricky as well. And since you mentioned about it, so let's talk about it a little bit, because okay, how early do you think the career counseling needs to start? In the first place, do you think that it needs to start from school or college or university? And number two, what do you actually do when you're taking an aptitude test of a person, may it be a he or she?
It has to be started by very early stages, like about what is career, what are the different careers in Pakistan, like from primary level. But from the matriculation or OA levels, it has to be properly discussed with the student, make them sit separately, ask them,
But in schools, it's going to be about different disciplines or subjects they're going to pick up on,
Yeah.
because obviously if you're going to ask somebody who's in O levels that, what do you want to be after you graduate from university, that will be a question which is too early for the kid to kind of answer.
But you know what? So you can, of course, add to it. And just an interesting anecdote, I feel like times are changing, because if you would ask this question to me or you when we were choosing for our universities,
Yeah.
I just knew कि या bio पढ़नी है या math पढ़नी है, which gave me only two options. It's either pre-medical or it's either
Yeah.
pre-engineering. So my youngest sister, funny story again, my youngest sister, it's her time. She's doing her O-levels now, completing. And so one day she just calls me, she goes like, hey, I just picked my subjects and I have my exams and whatnot. So I'm really excited. I'm like, hey, yeah, great. So what are you going to be? She goes like, I've dropped sciences. I'm taking the compulsory, but I'm taking business only as an optional, because I know what and imagine someone 10 years younger to me had a plan of what she wants to do after she studied business. She's like, I'm not going to carry on extra subjects. I'll do this with Baba's business. This is what I want to do on my own, blah, blah, blah. So times are changing, probably because of the internet, because of the awareness, whatnot. But yes, definitely in the good direction.
So it's you who didn't said her anything, but if there's someone else, he must have said that please opt for different subjects too, like biology or
Should I
whatever.
have said that?
Different.
Should I
no,
have?
no, no, no.
Okay.
You did
Okay,
absolutely
just for the
right.
safe side,
But if
Okay.
someone else was there, he must have said, he or she must have said, please pick different options too, because you never know what
By
happens in
chance,
future.
yeah.
By chance, you have to opt for different courses, which is not right. If the student is very clear
Yeah.
what he or she wants to do, what he or she sees her future, so there's
why not, right?
not
So I'm going to give you an interesting situation over here. So I have a friend, who's a doctor now, alhamdulillah. He's an MBBS doctor, and he just got done with his medicine education as well. So imagine, he should have been done by his MBBS, with his MBBS somewhere around 28 or 27. But he just, and the reason is that he couldn't unfortunately get himself into a medical school when he graduated, or in fact, when he came out of college as well. So he took admission in an engineering discipline, became an engineer first. Until that time, he was able to actually get the admission in a medicine school, and he went to do his MBBS, and now he's a doctor. So do you
Wow.
think that it is a real-time example of having bad career counseling, or probably
Yes,
having no
exactly.
career counseling at all?
these are,
I
these
feel
are
bad
there
for
are
him.
millions of stories and millions of students such like him,
All
such
right.
like your friend. Most of the people do the
Imagine, so
same.
4 years you went to a university, did engineering, and then 5 years you did your
You did
medicine.
Most of the people do the same. They
God.
opt for different courses in metric, different courses in intermediate, different
Yeah.
courses in bachelors, and different courses in masters.
Yeah.
Because they are not clear. This is why we need career counselor. We need people to guide them timely, so they don't waste their time. They put on their skills, their abilities, their capabilities at the right place, which is the need of the time.
hour.
Definitely, definitely. So towards the end of this segment, Mr. Kaya, I want you to tell people if it is okay to fail in your choices, and if you have failed, how to make the right choice, career path.
It's totally okay to have to fail. It's totally okay to be rejected. It's totally okay because we are not robots.
Of course, of course.
We are not robots. We are made to be learned from our mistakes,
Yep.
made to be learned from our like things which are we are not good at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true, true.
So it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
and you can
okay to
always
fail.
restart.
Yeah, it's okay to fail, and all you really need to do is that you need to know how to bounce back, ladies and gentlemen. And
100%.
towards the end of this segment, there's one more thing which I'm going to say, and a lot of people might say that, hey, you know what, things do not work like that. But for me, it does, and for all the Muslims out there, that's how we think about it, ladies and gentlemen. So imagine that career and risk is different. Okay, this is something which I want everybody to understand. You can study, you can do your masters, you can do your PhDs, but risk is by Allah Almighty, ladies and
Definitely,
gentlemen, and
definitely.
He's going to bestow His blessings upon you, and that distribution is by Allah as well. So one, you can never question that, and you should never question that. Number two, you should always pray for having more and more better naseeb as well, because naseeb do get better with prayers, and then people who might not have even stepped into schools or colleges or universities are billionaires today as well, and people who've done their PhDs might be having trouble, kind of having a sustainable lifestyle as well.
Of
So please do
course.
not confuse your career with the kind of money you're making. Please never do that. Risk is from Allah. Always pray for asan risk. That's what I do.
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
But thank you so
Thank
much for being here, Mr. Kaya. Is there, if people watching right now want to reach out to you for counseling and help, is there something they can?
Yes. I can give you numbers or my online platforms. You
Yes.
Yeah,
can,
Name of your online platform. would be great.
Brighten up your future.
Brighten up your future on
Yeah, it's
Facebook
the
and
name
Inst-
on Facebook and Instagram both.
All
I
right.
even want to brighten up my selfie as well, ladies and gentlemen. So you make sure that in fact, you want to brighten up your future as well. Make sure that you log on to brighten up your future. But not just that. These days a lot of people are actually picking up on architecture as well. My nephew. I had this long debate with my nephew, where he was like, I want to do architecture, and then a lot of people within my family were like, Putter, nobody kind of hires an architect over here. So let's talk about architecture, whether it's a good career to have, whether we have scope for architects who are actually in universities these days as well. Do we have enough place for them or spaces for them to kind of play their role? Well, let's talk about that. That too after a short break.
Interesting. Stay tuned.
Good
morning.
morning.
Mosque, or the Royal Mosque in Lahore, commissioned by the sixth Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb in 1671 and completed in 1673, is the second largest mosque in Pakistan and South Asia and the fifth largest mosque in the world. Epitomizing the beauty, passion and grandeur of the Mughal era. It is Lahore's most famous landmark and a major tourist attraction. Capable of accommodating 5,000 worshippers in its main prayer hall and a further 95,000 in its courtyard, it remains the largest mosque in the world. From 1673 to 1986, a period of 313 years, when overtaken in size by the completion of the Faisal Mosque in Islamabad. Today, it remains the second largest mosque in Pakistan and South Asia and the fifth largest mosque in the world after Masjid al-Haram, Grand Mosque of Mecca, and Al-Masjid al-Nabwi, Prophet's Mosque in Medina. The Hassan II Mosque in Casablanca and the Faisal Mosque in Islamabad. To appreciate its large size, the four minarets of the Badshai Mosque are 13.9 feet, 4.2 meters taller than those of the Taj Mahal, and the main platform of the Taj Mahal can fit inside the 278,784 square feet courtyard of the Badshai Mosque, which is the largest mosque courtyard in the world. Architectural wonders of Pakistan.
Truck art from Pakistan is renowned to the world for its attraction and
Hey, welcome back to World This Morning. This is Shazad Khan. I am Shaza Hashmi. And today we are making career choices. Yes, well, in the first segment, we tried to learn how to go about choosing a career path. And I think in this one, we are narrowing it down to learning architecture for that matter. To begin with, I just want to say that we were talking about the job market, how hard it is definitely to implement what you studied in Pakistan in the economy like this, which is, by the way, improving. So I happen to know someone who studied architecture from one of the best universities in Pakistan. Ended up working as a cashier at Zara, which is, I'm not judging, I'm just saying they have an amazing mind and an amazing degree, but nowhere to work. So this is something that does bother me with this,
and there's a reason, Shiza, why they do not have a place to work, and that is that, alhamdulillah, we're in Pakistan, for all of those people who are civil engineers or engineers, what they do is that, for example, we have a Theka system over there, and then, you give it to somebody else, and then that person is going to come in. And, there's this specific name for that gentleman who actually takes this Theka, by the Master Sahab or whatever. And then, he is the one who's actually going to run everything around as well. But now, alhamdulillah, things are changing, and that engineers are not going to design everything by themselves. And they're bringing in newer people, they're bringing in architects, they're bringing in people who have specific knowledge about architecture as well. And this is, I'm happy that Pakistanis are finally kind of thinking about this. Now, today, ladies and gentlemen, we are actually going to share such a business model with you as well, where we're going to talk about whether being an architect in Pakistan is going to be fruitful or pay your bills as well. Not just that, this entrepreneur who has actually happened to have joined us today as well is the one who has actually hired principal architects for for his firm, so that they kind of work in a very colossal way, and that everybody kind of does their job, what they're supposed to do. So it's not just going to be the ठेकेदार or per square feet हाँ जी क्या rate चल रहा है फलाना, all of those things what Pakistanis do over here. But I'm happy that we are kind of sharing their story with you guys as well, because they kind of want to work very professionally as well. Ladies and gentlemen, he happens to be an engineer, he's an entrepreneur himself. He is Mr. Yasir Masood. Hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning.
जी वालेकुम अस्सलाम, how are you? कैसे हैं आप?
Absolutely perfect. And Mr. Yasir, ladies and gentlemen, has been outside Pakistan for a longer period of time. He's worked abroad as well, which is why he's bringing the best practices to Pakistan. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for inviting me here and giving me an opportunity to explain that how is this architectural philosophy can be implemented in Pakistan.
Exactly.
Because there is a lot of scope and there's a lot of room for the architectural work and the good quality construction work here in Pakistan.
And a lot of
Which is why, I'm not going to introduce the second guest, who's sitting actually right next to
Yeah.
you, which is why I want you to kind of tell us when was there's this need you felt that, okay, you know what, I really need to hire an architect for my firm so that we can have those best practices.
Actually, I
And who is your architect? Please introduce yourself.
Ms. Afroz Khan is our principal architect. She's the residential head of our company. She's dealing with all the designs which our company makes. And I'll actually would like to explain a bit of about my past. I worked abroad for 13-14 years, right? Basically, I'm an engineer. I'm not an architect. But it was always in my mind that there should be proper phenomena of construction in Pakistan. Normally, it is seen that whenever the people they have to do the construction, they hired some contractor, right?
Yeah.
And the contractor says, go to etc. architect, get the designs and then give it to me, right? And when the customers go to the architects, they do not have this construction facility to them. So I basically came up with an idea that there should be a design and construction concept in-house, right? So I started working on that formula, and initially it was tough because people were not accepting these concepts, because in the societies or in the market there are already architects working, and the architects work by their own name, right? And when the architects design the projects, for instance the houses, they could not implement sometimes exactly on the ground, because there is a gap of the communication and the links between the construction and the architectural designs. So we actually started working on this concept. So I made an in-house design department, and my company also has the in-house construction department, right? So we actually whenever the customers come to us, we discuss with the customer in detail what is the requirements of the customer, whether it's the residential or it's the commercial.
Exactly.
Right?
I truly get that, but your boss has taken a lot of time today explaining his business model, which is wonderful. But of course, coming down to you, for somebody being an architect, and that too in-house, where we are speaking about a business model which Yasir Masood Sahab actually explained as of now. For architects, as he mentioned, that they want to go by their own name. For example, Nayyar Ali Dada Saab, and all of these people have made great names to themselves and great repute. There will be a time when you'll be like, okay, you know what, Yasir bhai, I think I've done enough work with you, and I probably want to go on my own journey. But before you answer that, how was it for you when you graduated from university and you were an architect, and was it difficult for you to kind of land into a job as well?
When I started working with Blue Arc Design and Construction, it was very difficult, but people were very supportive and loving for me, और काफ़ी कुछ इन लोगों ने मुझे सिखाया.
So the environment was very friendly.
Environment was very friendly, और क्योंकि बहुत सारी चीज़ें थी सीखने के लिए, बहुत सारे कंस्ट्रक्शन प्रोजेक्ट्स हो रहे थे और डिज़ाइनर विलास बन रहे थे, तो बहुत सारी चीज़ें थी जिससे मैंने सीखा. और जो अभी हम लोग कर रहे हैं वर्किंग, वो सारी जो है वो उसमें वो सब चीज़ें मुझे, मतलब जब मैं यूनिवर्सिटी टाइम में थी, उस टाइम में हम लोग वो चीज़ें जो हैं वो नहीं बनाते, या वो चीज़ें वो प्रैक्टिकलिटीज़ टेक्निकलिटीज़ हम लोगों को नहीं पता होती.
Yeah.
तो वो सब चीज़ें जो हैं वो ब्लू आर्क में आके जो है वो मुझे अब
Wow,
पता लगी और
wonderful. So, ladies and gentlemen, initially it was difficult for her to actually land a job, but eventually, alhamdulillah, when she actually joined Yasser Saab's company, you know, it was quite a learning experience. Everybody was supportive over there. Alhamdulillah, they were designing designer villas, which I believe was wonderful. And she's kind of really happy with the organization she's working with, which is great. But sir, there's one more thing, and that is that, you know, when you actually have a fresh graduate in your company, they're prone to making mistakes, and God forbid if an architect makes a mistake, that can be really very costly as well. You know, it truly depends on if it's a commercial project, and you know, if 2 or 3 degrees angles are actually going somewhere else, you know, it's going to cost you a lot of stuff. So how do you keep a balance in between that? Okay, you know what, okay, we have a drawing, we need to send it to somebody to check whether there are any mistakes or not.
Actually, it's a very good question, right? Because the projects actually on grounds, they are like, even if we speak of the 5 mallas or 10 mallas house, right? It's costing in a good society more than 30 millions,
Yeah.
right? And the projects are expensive projects, and these projects, just I'm at the moment referring only to the residential projects, the houses, right? And people have collected the money, gathered the money, spending all their lives. So you cannot just experiment on the fresh graduates, right? If there is a blunder, the whole project will be destroyed.
Yeah.
So in that particular case, the very good thing that actually the philosophy and phenomena in our company that has polished the architects a lot. We are just not the architectural company, we are design and construction company.
Yeah.
A lot of construction projects are also going on,
Exactly.
right? So we actually keeps the regular visits and tours of the architects working with us on the construction sites. So actually they see the actual concepts, they see the on-ground construction, they see the practicalities, they see the bylaws, how these bylaws are implemented on ground. So so that's why there are very our architects are not those hypothetical architects or the bookish kind of architects or the theoretical architects or the very intense creative architects. What they make is cannot be implemented on the ground.
Okay.
So this is what has helped us to create our practical architecture.
And this is something which I wanted to pick up on as well, and thank you very much that you kind of pointed that the direction of our conversation that way. Because you know, when you're working with a company, you know, this is something which I'm asking you. When you're working with a company obviously will have its own limitations. You know, they're not going to go beyond this budget, and they're going to stick by that as well. And they'll be like, okay, you know, you really do not have to be so creative. Just do whatever we want you to do. You know, number one. So how do you go about it? Number two, you know, when we come down to, you know, budget restrictions, I don't know, it's the irony. Every time we get a call, you know, for a show as well, sir, budget nahi hai. You know,
Budget
this is
nahi,
something
haan.
everybody's going to say. It's always on everybody's mouth as well. So how do you kind of convince your bosses that, sir, you know what, because whenever we talk about architect, I mean, imagine if we talk about Europe now, if we talk about any other country, you know, they're rich in architecture, is because of the fact that they kind of invested in it, right? We, one way or the other, Pakistanis are not even talking about that there is a creative side to architecture that is going to live for more than 100 or 200 years till the time those buildings are going to stand.
Right.
So why not add that value? Number two. So please, can you answer these two questions? One, you know, budget restrictions, just because they do not want you to be more creative, it's going to cost the company. Number two, do you realize that, you know, this architecture is going to stay with the country or with this place for a longer period of time, and this will reflect our value in the coming future?
Budget से होती है creativity compromise? I think yes. I don't know.
बजट से क्रिएटिविटी होती है, लेकिन उसमें ये होता है कि हम लोग मटेरियल्स में वो अकॉर्डिंग टू बजट यूज़ करते हैं.
ठीक है.
मतलब जो आपके डिफरेंट मटेरियल्स हैं ना, उसमें मटेरियल्स में बिल्कुल वो टाइप्स आती हैं. ठीक है, उस टाइप्स को हम लोग अकॉर्डिंग टू वेदर कंडीशन और जो भी बजट कंस्ट्रेंट्स होते हैं उसके अकॉर्डिंगली यूज़ करके जो है वो चीज़ों को aesthetically appealing or economical बनाते हैं.
Okay, well that's great. So Ms. Afroz is saying that whatever the budget is given to them, they want to make sure that they, well, make the most out of it in terms of aesthetics as well, and then safety. Of course, yes please.
इसमें एक और चीज़ भी है कि ऐसा नहीं होता कि आपका बिल्कुल लो कॉस्ट बजट हो और उसमें आप चीज़ जो है वो मज़े की बनाने की कोशिश करें। ऑब्वियसली आपको बजट एक लिमिट तक रखना होता है जिससे आपको चीज़ जो है वो बेहतर तरीके से मिल सके।
That's true. Well,
I'll
obviously
just
there
like
are
to
things
add
in
one line over here.
consideration. Yes.
You know, I normally say to my clients that it's not the money that makes your house beautiful, it's the concepts that makes your house beautiful.
Exactly.
If
But do they believe it?
Yeah, they believe it. You know, in our designs, there are actually the concepts in the house. We do the designer conceptual houses,
Okay.
right? For instance, if the window of a room is opening into a patio, right, and outside the patio there is sunlight, there is rain falling, so this is not something that can be achieved very like costly.
We get that.
Yeah, this is a simple concept, but you cannot replace it with the expensive interior as well.
Yeah.
So we have to play with the concepts.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's wonderful, sir. We're very short on time. So one last question very quickly.
All
My
right,
producer
so many
is continuously
questions.
saying that we have to wrap it up. And that is, let me put it the other way around as well. You know, so people come up with the, you know, since it's a dream to make our own
Yeah.
house as well. And
People
that's how it's
save
been marketed
their
over here in
lives.
Pakistan. So imagine that, you know, people coming to you be like, yeah, you know, we have 5-6 million only. But we want a swimming pool and a movie theater. And you know, ख्वाहिशात जो होती है लोगों की. How do you take care of that?
You know, right now, as I mentioned earlier, we are not only the architectural firm, we
Yes.
are also the construction company. We are also the developers as well. We are handing over the designer villas, which are exclusively our own products of the Blue Arc, on the installment basis. And in these projects, we have incorporated the pools, we have incorporated home theaters.
Wow.
And one of the projects at the moment we are carrying out, it's on the hilltop, and it's actually, we have named that project as the terraces. The terraces, it has 8 to 9 terraces, which has the complete view of Islamabad. We have incorporated the infinity pool in that.
Is it in the suburbs somewhere or in the main city?
I think it's just
it's
on our
actu-
way towards Murray, I guess.
No, it's in the Bahria Hills.
All right.
Okay.
It's the hills area of
Well,
Bahria,
that
right?
is great. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, both of you, for coming, because we're really short on time. Best of luck for your future
Just
endeavors as well.
the last point I would like to mention here.
Yes.
You know, the same concepts which we have discussed for all during the discussion about the residential, the same goes in the commercials as well. You know,
Okay.
we are also doing the commercials, and due to the reason the government has given the amnesty at the moment, a lot of architectural construction activities going on.
Sir,
in the
thank you
commercial.
very much for saying that. I'm really sorry that we're very short on time as well, but inshallah in future we
Yeah.
will talk about in detail as well. Ladies and gentlemen, you can always log on to the internet and check about Blue Arc as well. But please make sure that you write to us on our Facebook page, which is with the name of,
Well, this morning,
on Twitter, Daily Motion GT.
everything well this
Yeah,
morning.
and the fabulous repeat is going to be at
5 past midnight.
till the
tonight.
next time. Look after yourselves. 1, 2, 3. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Thank you.